And for more on this story, we can go across to France 24's Emmanuel Chaze, standing by on Poland's border with Ukraine. Emmanuel, what is the situation like where you are?
Well, here in Hrebenne, there's people coming from the border at all times, day and night. In fact, on the Ukrainian side, there's a traffic jam. There's a queue which is 60 kilometers long. There are people, you can see people behind me who just arrived. They are waiting here to be transported by the buses commissioned by the Polish government. They are waiting to be transported to emergency shelters. Some of them are also waiting for friends, for relatives to come to pick them up. In fact, you can see here behind me, there's a lot of cars. Those are the cars of Polish people or Ukrainians living in Poland or even abroad. There's even cars from Lithuania who are here. People are picking up their relatives. They have been here for days. Some of them have slept here. I don't know if you can see, you can't because there are people, but there's a fire that has been lit up there. People gathering around the fire, spending day and night here, waiting for their relatives, waiting for news. I was talking earlier to a firefighter. He was telling me that on the Polish side, there's around 50 to 60 people coming through each hour, time to verify all the documents. But that would be several hundreds of people every day making it through the border. And also a huge solidarity set up here in Poland, for example. Ukrainian nationals can travel for free on public transport. Schools have been requisitioned as emergency shelters, and so many Polish people who are opening their homes, who are donating clothes, who are preparing food. There's a food kitchen just there. It's very basic, it's very scarce, but there is a humanitarian effort underway, and Poland is doing a lot in that regard at this time of crisis.
It's nice to see that there is this solidarity in this time of crisis. Emmanuel, I want to ask you something because Ukraine has a lot of foreign students studying in the country who have been stuck there since Russia's invasion began. Students from different countries in Africa, I'm thinking South Africa, Zambia, as well as countries like India. I know India has about 18 to 20,000 students studying in Ukraine, but there have been reports emerging that they have been unable to leave Ukraine to get to places like Poland, where the embassy has made provisions for them to be repatriated to India. What can you tell us?
Exactly. Those reports have been multiplying over the hours. Of course, if people are blocked on the other side, well, we cannot see them coming. We cannot get their first-hand account unless they share them on social network. What I can tell you from where I am is that the Polish Foreign Affairs Ministry assured that everybody, regardless of their nationality, was entitled to cross the border, given the situation. For non-Ukrainian national, other foreigners will have a 2 weeks residency permit, and they have to get in touch with their embassies, and they have 2 weeks then to be repatriated in their native country. However, there are also worrying reports that there's some triage being made at the train, at the trains in Kiev, for example, or on the Ukrainian side, preventing people of color, brown people, black people to board. There were testimonies on social media from Nigerian students. Yesterday I met 2 Zambian students who told me it had been incredibly difficult for them to make their way through the border, but that on the Polish side they had managed to come through. I've also spoken to representatives of the Zambian embassy yesterday evening. They were telling me that out of the 130 Zambians registered as Ukrainian residents, 100 was already out, 30 of them are still waiting. And let's not forget that Ukraine was also home to around 2,000 refugees from Afghanistan, from Syria. Those also need to get out. And I was talking to an official last night, and he was also sharing what he called a fear that people currently waiting at the Belarus border, so asylum seekers, refugees from Iraq, from Syria, and other such places would then go to Ukraine to try and cross to Poland. And he was telling me, at the moment, this is not something we can control because everybody is let in given the situation.
Wow. Emmanuel, thank you very much for that. Emmanuel Chaze reporting there from Poland's border with Ukraine.